I'm under contract. 3 words, and for a lot of fiber reps, that's where the conversation ends. They nod, they say, oh, okay, no worries, and they move on to the next door. And they leave a potential deal sitting right there on the porch. Here's the thing, almost everyone you knock is paying for internet already. A lot of them have some kind of agreement with their current provider. If I'm under contract stops you, you're gonna hear all day and close nothing. But when you really understand what's going on when someone says that and you know how to respond, this objection becomes an opening. Today, I'm gonna break down exactly how to handle this. We're going deep on this one objection because if you master this, you'll close deals that most people walk away from. Here's how we're gonna approach this. First, what I'm under contract actually means, because it's not usually what you think. There's psychology underneath that objection, and when you understand it, you know how to respond. Second, the bill review technique. This is one of the most effective ways to reopen a conversation that feels closed. I'll show you exactly how to do it. Third, timing strategies for when the contract is real. Sometimes they are actually locked in. That doesn't mean that you have to walk away. It just means that you play the long game. When someone says, I'm under contract, most reps will take that at face value. They think, okay, this person's legally locked in. There's nothing really that I can do. Next door. But here's what's actually happening most of the time. They're not thinking about their contract. They're just thinking about the hassle that they think it's gonna be by switching. I'm under contract is shorthand for, I just don't wanna deal with this right now. It's a reflexive way to make the conversation just go away. And a lot of the time, they're not even sure if they're actually under a contract or not. They just assume that they are because they've been with that provider for a while. Does that make sense? Let's break this down to see what's actually underneath this objection. First, the status quo bias. People stick with what they have because they feel like change is risky. Even if their current internet is mediocre, it's familiar. They know what to expect. Switching means going into the unknown. Unknown feels dangerous. So I'm under contract is more often a way for them to avoid the discomfort of making a decision. Second is sunk cost. They've been paying this company for a while, maybe even years. There's a psychological weight to that. It feels like they're invested in this relationship. Switching feels like admitting that their investment was a mistake. Third, they're fearful of early termination fees. This one's a little bit more practical. They've heard stories about people getting hit with big fees for canceling early, and they just don't want to deal with that. So they assume that they're stuck. But here's what's interesting. A lot of people, when they say, I'm under contract, they aren't actually under contract. They actually finished their contract a year, 2, 3+ ago, and now they're on a month-to-month basis. They just don't know it. Or their contract is actually just an auto enrollment that they can cancel at any time. They just have never looked into it. So when you hear, I'm under contract, don't assume that they're right. They might be, but they also might not be. And either way, the conversation doesn't have to end there. Real quick, if you want more frameworks for handling objections like this, not just the contract stuff, but the common pushbacks you get from the doors, that's what we're building at the D2D Experts. Full systems for reps who want to close more deals. Links in the description to book a call with our team. Let's see where you're at and what we can do to tighten it up. One of the best ways to reopen a conversation after I'm under contract is to offer to look at their bill together. Sounds simple, but here's why it works. Most people have no idea what they're actually paying for when it comes to internet. They signed up 2+ years ago. They got some promotional rate. That rate expired. Now they're paying way more than they realize. Guys, there are fees on that bill that they've never actually noticed. Equipment rentals, service charges, stuff that adds up. When you offer to look at that together, you're not arguing with their objection. You're helping them get clarity on their actual situation. And that clarity, more often than not, is going to work in your favor. Here's how to position it. Hey, totally understand. Just out of curiosity though, do you know when your contract actually ends and do you know what you're paying for right now? Because most people don't know. They say something like, I'm not sure exactly. I think it's like $80 a month. That's your opening. You know what? I'm not trying to waste your time, but a lot of people I talk to are paying way more than they realize. Would you be open to pulling up your bill really quick? I can show you exactly what the comparison looks like and it literally takes just a few minutes. Some people will say no, that's totally fine. But some people will say, yeah, for sure, let me grab it. Because now they're curious. Now they want to know. Once you're looking at the bill together, you can point things out to them. See this line here? That's an equipment rental fee. You're paying $12 a month to rent their router, but with fiber, the equipment's included. And this rate right here, that was probably a promo rate that expired. Looks like you're paying more than what you originally signed up for. So right now you're at 95 bucks a month. Fiber would be $70 a month for faster term speeds. And if there's an early termination fee, you'd make that back with just a few months savings. Now you're not selling, you're doing math together. You're showing them reality. And reality usually makes fiber look pretty good. The bill review changes the dynamic completely. You're not a salesperson pushing a product, you're a consultant helping them figure out their situation. That's a much better position to close from. Sometimes the contract is real. They signed a 2-year agreement 8 months ago. There's a legit early termination fee that doesn't make sense for them to pay. And a lot of reps hear that and walk away completely. But that's a mistake because this person just told you that they're interested enough to look into it. They just can't do anything right now. That, guys, that's not a dead lead. That's a future customer. And if you handle it right, you'll be the one who closes them when that contract ends, not whoever knocks their door in 6 months from now. Here's how you play the long game. First, find out exactly when their contract ends. Okay, so you're locked in for now. When does that contract actually end? Do you know the month? Get specific, write it down. If they don't know, help them figure it out. Usually it's on your bill somewhere. Want me to help you take a look really quick? Second, set the follow-up. Okay, so you're free in August. Here's what I can do. I'll make a note to check back with you in July. That way you've got time to think about it. And if you want to make the switch when your contract's up, we can get you scheduled before the busy season. You just planted a flag. You're the fiber rep now who's going to follow up in July, not some random rep who knocks their door in August. Third, leave something behind. Your card, a flyer, something with your name and number on it. If anything changes before then, or if you just have questions, shoot me a text. I'm around. Now you're a resource, not just a one-time visitor. Fourth, guys, this is important. Actually follow up. This is where most reps fail. They say they're going to follow up, but they never do. Put it in your calendar. Set a reminder on your phone. When July comes around, send that text. Hey, it's Marcus, the fiber guy. We talked back in January about switching when your contract ends. That should be coming up pretty soon. Want me to get you on the schedule? That text closes deals, guys, because you're the one who remembered. You're the one who followed through. That builds trust, and trust closes deals. Here's the bottom line. I'm under contract does not have to end the conversation. It can be the start of a better one. Whether that means digging into their bill and showing them the real numbers, or playing the long game and following up when the timing is right. If you want help building out your whole fiber system, I'm talking objection handling, pitch frameworks, follow-up processes, guys, book a call with our team. The link's below in this description. Let's make sure that you're not walking away from the deals that you should be closing. Okay. Let's bring it home. I'm under contract is the most common objection in fiber sales, and it stops way too many reps in their tracks. First, you gotta understand what that really means. Most of the time, it is not about the contract. It's about avoiding the hassle of switching. A lot of people don't even know if they're actually under contract. Don't take that at face value. Second, use the bill review. Offer to look at the bill together. Help them see what they're actually paying for. Point out the fees, the expired promotional rates, the real cost. Do the math with them. When reality is on your side, let reality do the selling. Third, play the long game when you need to. If the contract is real, find out when it ends, set the follow-up, leave something behind, and then most importantly, actually follow through. The rep who follows up is the rep who closes. This one objection does not have to stop you. Handle it right and it becomes one of the best sources of deals. Guys, if this helped at all, go ahead and hit subscribe because we're dropping fiber content every single week. Objection handling, pitch framework, strategies that actually work on the doors and puts more money in your pocket. And if you want the full system, check out Fiber University. The link's below in the description. All right, go handle some contract objections and I'll see you guys in the next one.